Have to tell you, Colin, from your perch in Chicago, Caleb Williams, major leap in his first season under Ben Johnson. But despite Caleb leading the Bears to their first playoff win in 15 years, Johnson told the Chicago Sun-Times Williams' development is just getting started. He wants Caleb's completion rate to go way up. He's also looking for Caleb to balance that, like, street ball, off-script play thing with a little bit more of staying in the pocket, quick releases, on-script kind of things. I love this about Ben Johnson, right? You want a guy who is holding everyone to the highest possible standard. What's your standard for Caleb in year 3? What do you think he's going to do?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. The Bears have never had a great quarterback. And so people in this town, when I walk out, when I'm outside during the football season, they're very protective of Caleb Williams. They're like, you guys are brutal. He's unbelievable. I'm like, you do understand anything I say, Ben Johnson's 5 times harder.
Oh. Yes.
And the truth is, it's like golf. And, even Tiger Woods in his prime, it's like you need a great coach. Mm-hmm. And I think what was always Tom Brady's always a great comp here on how to do it, which is Tom Brady, after 4 Super Bowls, would go to Costa Rica with his wide receivers in the offseason. Constant repetition and mechanics. So the good news for Caleb is if 10 is an amazing play and 1 is basic footwork, we know that 7, 8, 9, 10, only Josh Allen can do what he can do in the league. His stuff to work on is stuff he can work on. You can't make a guy bigger. You can't make a guy faster. You can improve footwork. Mm-hmm. You can improve accuracy. And so, like, it's the best kind of young quarterback. The stuff to work on is just repetition makes you better stuff, not I wish you could bench press more and throw it further. Like, that stuff's done. He's got a power arm. And I think, honestly, even more, I mean, it's like he's a stronger Lamar or a smaller Josh. Yeah. He's off script. He's just a different ballgame.
Yeah. Well, first of all, on behalf of Jim McMahon, let me say, how dare you, sir? But also, look, the completion percentage is really going to be a big factor for Caleb. Ben has told him he wants him to be at the 70% mark. Drake May was at 72%. Caleb this past season, 58%, ranked 22nd in the league there. So I think that's going to be a big thing. Ben told the Sun-Times he's going to show Caleb 100 plays where he could have been more accurate, and that does not include wide receiver drops. So I think it's going to be a fun summer for those guys. And I love Williams. I think he's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Wow. Boy, do I feel validated right now, because I've been making a whole bunch of videos talking about how Caleb needs to be more accurate, etc., etc. Be more on script, come up with these plays that if he does, it's game over. The Chicago Bears are going to be insanely dominant, and the offense will be unstoppable. And yeah, I like Colin said, a lot of fans are like, you're crazy. What are you talking about? Look at all the wide receiver drops by you. Stop blaming him. And then we hear what Ben Johnson says. And I used to always say, yeah, guys, I'm just telling you what Ben Johnson would be essentially telling Caleb Williams. That was a bad throw. You got lucky that wasn't intercepted, etc., etc. And then this is literally what Ben Johnson is going to be doing. And again, we were just starting his development. This is what coaches do. And this is the accountability, showing you. When I talk about Lamar Jackson needing accountability and etc., 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 these are the things that I'm talking about, being held accountable. Being held accountable. And I guarantee you Ben Johnson is going to show plays that they were successfully caught. I might guarantee you, even touchdowns, he's going to be like, yeah, you scored a touchdown here. Guess what? 1, it was the wrong throw. 2, it was inaccurate. 3, we're actually really lucky here that this unfolded this way, right? Like I guarantee you there's going to be those moments. It's not going to be just times that he throws the ball over someone's head and be like, you got to be more accurate there. 'Cause Caleb's going to be like, yeah, buddy, I know. Yeah, I know. And so it's like this stuff is awesome. Like this, if you're a Chicago Bears fan, if you're a Caleb fan, this should excite you. This should be like, yes. My team's got a coach. We got a dude. We got someone who's so locked in on the details. Like, let's go. This is what you need. This is the accountability that you need. This is big. This is the stuff that matters. This is the difference between being good, great, elite, special, and historic. We can talk about the Iceman cometh and all that type of all we want. None of it matters, honestly, until you do this type of stuff. And I had said the Bears left about a touchdown a game on on the field. And it was Caleb driven. And you take care of some of this, and it's over. Your offense becomes so insanely dominant and unstoppable. It's over. The rest is just hope the defense isn't a liability. Just make the plays for the most part in the big moments, and you're good. You're good to go, man. You're good to go. You're a perennial Super Bowl contender. The rest is just health, and like I said, just don't mess up in the big moments, and you'll be right there. And then it'll come down to, do you execute in those moments? And if you do, you're a Super Bowl winner. It can really be. Come that straightforward. So and that's what I was kind of saying about Caleb last year, that seeing the growth, seeing the progress, seeing the excitement. I had said before that season even started, this is rookie year for me, for Caleb. This is his first year. I'm more than willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's going to be rocky. There's going to be some issues, etc. 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 But it was just like there were games that they were winning, there were games that even Caleb had some spectacular stuff, and it was not really a good game. And there were games that he had the box score was amazing, and he put up a million stats, and I'm that wasn't really a good game by Caleb. And it's tough when you live in that world, because you're always making someone unhappy, right? You're always making people unhappy. But it's the reality. It really is. And then your head coach recognizes that. And that is so amazing. I mean, seriously, that is so amazing. It really is. I hear this, and this gets me fired up. It gets me so excited, because it's also not generic. Because there's I can't think of an example right now, but where, a Ben Johnson's going to show him 100 video, 100, I guess, throws where he could be more accurate. And first off, you're having a coach who's going through all of this, which is great. But there's other versions of that. That coaches do that it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really land, or it doesn't not really going to make that big of a difference. Again, I can't think of a decent example of when that is, but you have a coach who's I show I showed film of Rocky or whatever to get everyone to realize how tough it is, how you have to be resilient or something. And it's yeah, that's cool, Or I showed highlights of Kobe Bryant. And it's okay, there's nothing wrong with that type of stuff. And it could be cool, it could be interesting, it could be exciting, some of that stuff is still emotional and can get you all fired up and all of that. And so there's nothing wrong with it. And there's nothing inherently wrong with it, but it's, I always talk about coach speak, and there's kind of this spectrum. And some of this stuff sounds good. And especially if you've never played and you're on the outside looking in, you're oh, that's cool. That's cool. But it's just at the end of the day, you need the stuff that really matters. You need the stuff that you can really say, this is going to make me better. This is going to make me a better football player. Not work harder, not be more inspired, not be more motivated, not be more focused. What is actually, from the most fundamental, elemental aspect of all of this, what is going to make me a better football player? And it's this stuff right here, man. It's this stuff right here. Not everyone has that. Some of these great coaches that people love don't always have this type of stuff. Don't always bring this type of energy. Now again, it's also all about how you thread the needle and how you stick the landing, right? Because you got to be smart how you do it, because you can take it too far. You can take it to the way where now you make the player uncomfortable, too tight, too stringent, and then you feel like you can't make a mistake. And I talk about this plenty. I need to play for a coach where I feel that I can make a million mistakes and still feel that support. That's what brings out the best in me. I need to feel kind of free. I need to be free to make mistakes, or if I do make a mistake, and make a bad throw, I'm not going to be yelled at, "What are you doing?" Because it's like, I know I made a bad throw. I don't need you now. I need you to kind of pretty much be like, "Oh, whatever. It was a bad throw. I know you'll be good next time around." Like that's the type of support that I personally not everyone needs that. Everyone's different, right? And so it's just different people need different coaches. But like I do need a coach that delivers the answers. A coach that is going to focus and be like, "This is what you need to work on. This is what you need to work on. This is what you need to work on. This is what you need to work on. We are zooming in on this. This is what we're focused on right now. This is what we're getting after. This is what you have." It is awesome. I cannot emphasize that enough. So, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And if you're a Chicago Bears fan, you should go to sleep easy knowing that you have someone that is not only paying attention to the details, but is holding his players accountable to the highest degree. You should love it. But, those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears? Just the idea that they are just getting started on his development, his accuracy, playing more on script, more on time. Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. So, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're all on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.